And welcome back. We are in Losers Bracket Round 7 with Captain Happy Crew and Party Boat fighting it out for the chance to vote Rabbit. How are you feeling, Lily, about this? What's your prediction? Any predictions?
Well, I don't have any predictions at the moment, but I do know, I have been watching Captain Happy Crew in like a lot of swim or sinks over the past couple of months. I feel like I have probably commentated this team like almost on a weekly basis. In some cases. So like being able to see them, especially with Captain Happy's Inkjet, I believe we might be seeing some really strong plays from them coming up against Party Boat. Party Boat, I don't know what to expect here actually, but like I do expect to see some very strong games nonetheless. We'll be seeing them first play on Flat Zones on Macomart, which we did see Macomart in Clam Blitz in the previous set.
I love Zones Macomart. It's my favorite map to play. So good for Junior.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is. It is really fun for Junior.
I'm having a Party Boat on Macomart, even though there's no water present. It is a land boat.
You know what? You know what? There's probably like water in the fridges or something. You might be able to like get some bottled water. Personally, I think
empty out the empty out the
water
bottles onto the ground.
Empty out all of the water bottles and get your boat and have a party on.
I don't know if I can agree with that. You know, being Australian, you know, water is important to us. Obviously, we have a lot of drought seasons.
Oh yeah.
I think what we need is a kiddie pool.
Speaking of,
sorry.
I think so too. You know what? I think so too. Actually, you know what? Like speaking of drought and stuff, it does look like the third map is going to be Clam Blitz in the desert. It's going to be Scorch Gorge. That's kind of Australian, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's kind of Australian. But anyway, we have our three maps here, 3 map modes: Zones, Macomart, Tower Control, Inkblot Art Academy, the infamous the tournament pick. Of course, you see it in every single tournament. I wonder if there will be like any all mode tournaments that will not have Tower Control and Inkblot Art Academy. It might happen. It may have happened, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Macomart. Really solid. It's a fun. I personally have a lot of fun playing Tower Control. Inkblot. It's just there's so many key areas. You know, you can take the step up and do a little sneaky flank if they're not paying attention. Taking control of bats. You know, second check is kind of a very big choke point in the fact that you know you can set up on the bats, you can set up on the mushroom, and really take a lot of control.
And you got to be taking the tower over that uninkable area as well, that little ramp, that slick, which can be kind of tricky. But you know what? If you have someone like set up on that little block right under the ledge, you can get some like sneaky flanks behind them over on that plat as well, which I think is always like a fun little move to do, as well. You know, if you're playing any like tri-slushes or anything like that, that can always be like a pretty strong pick there. We are going into the first game, however. Party Boat, we are seeing Wug and Toba. I am very familiar with them actually. In Captain Happy Crew, this is going to be interesting. We are seeing the Double Junior come out. Double Junior, this is what I love.
It's a junior map. It's a junior map. Oh no,
it's a junior map. Oh, it does look like the enemy battle.
Help, please stand by for technical difficulties during this map selection period. Please stand by. Oh, dude, they got my hopes up with the Double Junior. I hope we see it come back here.
I hope so too. Double Junior on Zones is so much fun, and I know that like you're a junior player. I've been kind of a junior player. I've kind of like stepped back from junior a little bit.
I see what's happened.
But you know,
the Double Junior is a lie.
The Double Junior is a lie?
Yes, it seems like a spec had some trouble identifying which players were on the team, but we will be getting back into it.
Okay, we will be getting back into it. Hopefully with juniors as well. I expect we'll be seeing the juniors come back
I
to
can't wait. I'm so excited. I've been given a little, a little tester from Costco, and I'm wanting to come back for more and buying the whole aisle of
I remember like the
meeples.
first time you and I said that, hey, we should commentate together someday. I think you said, yeah, we're just gonna be focusing on the juniors, and here we
Yeah.
are. We're gonna be focusing on the juniors in this map. Captain Happy Crew, Party Boat. Are we really looking at the teams? No, we're just gonna be looking at the
No,
juniors
it's
here.
only Junior. I'm sorry, everyone.
It's only juniors.
You've got two
Yeah.
junior
Anyway,
appreciators here.
2 junior appreciators.
Except Lily, you've betrayed me. You opening gambit, 52 user. Yeah, I see you. Not committed to the junior. The double splat bomb life. I can't believe it.
Okay. I do enjoy playing. I think like when I'm playing solo queue on splat zones, I do like to bring back the junior sometimes as well. And it's just fun having those double bombs, not only to push players back and actually like take some really good control, some offensive pressure with those bombs, but also to be able to take some like really good defensive options as well. It does look like we are seeing Wug on the junior. I've played against Wug before. She's a menace with that weapon. Extremely good junior player, and I'm interested to see how quickly the junior team takes control of that zone and already gets up onto the plat. Unfortunately, going down as they do fall back into breakfast just there. It does look like they are losing members on both sides, actually, both Captain Happy Crew and Party Boat, but Party Boat coming out with the Ink Vac, unfortunately being taken down in 2 hits by Kwan Yo's Zuka right there. Party Boat's still going to be holding on to the zone just for this extra push all the way down into the 40s. We're more than halfway here. Captain Happy Crew still needs to find an opening back into the middle of the map, but can they do it?
Yeah, I think what we're seeing here is, Party Boat has that E leader, which gives them a lot of, space and control, having that full range in, keeping Captain Happy Crew out in there. But we are seeing Captain Happy Crew kind of making a turn in here, flipping the zone over, capping it out, giving Party Boat that penalty that was much needed, because as that zone's ticking down, the pressure is starting to build more and more, and if you're not getting anywhere without success, it's a combination of things potentially going wrong there. But let's see this Blaster try and get some ledge picks here, some ledge damage. With Captain Happy again struggling to get back into mid. I think again it's the same problem that Rabbit had, is that they didn't have any resources to sustain mid there. With that doing Tetra things, jumping in, you gotta have that negative KD going on.
Yeah, you gotta be able to be really aggressive to make sure that not only are you creating those openings for your team with your Tetras, but you're keeping that constant pressure and that distraction that keeps the other team away from being able to push in and be effective, really. But it does look like Party Boat is already with that, keeping their backline safe with that bubble, also just making sure that they have the space to move up ahead if they so need. But we can see them kind of like playing kind of patiently here, just waiting for Captain Happy Crew to move back in, especially with those Zukas and the Ink Vac coming back. But it looks like they can't manage to find that opening to be able to get the zone back. They do manage to, actually Party Boat manages to continue holding onto the zone as we can go down into the 15-14 count, but they just need to be able to keep holding on to this. I think it's the power of their paint output that is really making them actually take this all the way down to the knockout, stopping Captain Happy Crew from being able to move in with any of their specials. Every single time they attempted to push in, it was just Party Boat at the ready to counter them. Amazing job. That we saw the power of the junior, of course.
And if you had a look there in that last second there, they established a really good presence on their stack with that bubble. Their teammates were able to jump in, keep applying that pressure, even though they had to retreat back / were out of the game. So it's just that power of the bubble, using your bubble to create space, push forward, create opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing about Bubble as well, I find, is that it, even though it can get shredded really quickly, if you do manage to use it at like really good opportune moments, just to make sure that you can get a fight or get like your positioning going in your favor no matter what, then you have always that like that crucial moment to continue your control of a particular area, or to continue like making sure that the zone is in your team's control as well, if the other team is like spending resources or spending time like trying to deal with what the hell you're doing over in that bubble, wherever you may be as well.
Exactly. And we are going to be heading on to Inkblot Tower Control. A fun time for our players here.
Tournament map mode.
Number one
tournament map mode. Yeah, I expect we're going to be seeing Wug come out with the junior again for that bubble, and we are seeing Captain Happy Crew already back. Actually, they've got a double bubble. Double bubble.
I mean, that's really good for pushing that second check.
Skit come out with the blaster. Not only is that bubble going to be helping them take the second check, but also that AoE is going to be perfect for just camping those ledges as well. We're seeing Captain Happy Crew kind of like moving around the side firstly, just to make sure that they can actually slowly move in and take control over that stack. We're seeing the Inkbat come out, pushing back Party Boat. Does it look like they're looking around for a pick over on the side there? 2 plays have gone down on the side of Party Boat already, and they are beginning to take up control, camping those ledges as well as they carry this tower over to the first checkpoint. Things are looking really good for Captain Happy Crew at the moment, Amy, but Party Boat, what do they need to be doing here in order to really contest this?
Look, Party Boat, we already see that Tetra doing what exactly it needs to do, which is kind of rushing in, diverting that attention away from Happy Crew looking at that plat and returning their gaze back to mid, which has given Party Boat, a lot more control of mid. We're already seeing it switch over to blue, and they're starting to move off their plat and retaining that space that they so desperately need. I kind of want to touch on Happy Crew's opening, which is quite interesting. All 4 of their players went to the left side of the map, and we saw the Nautilus kind of quickly rotate back onto their plat, and trying, almost creating like a little bit of a pinch scenario. And we see that step play with the Blaster using that bubble to secure that area and take a pick on the Nautilus. And that bubble was still up there. All their attention is on that Blaster, while that tower keeps moving forward.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about regarding that little step just under that ledge as well. And having the blaster set up there, I think, was the perfect weapon just to help support that tower move up ahead. Because not only do you have that AoE, which, if you get pressured back, you can just move down on the ledge and camp that ledge with your blaster shots. But if you have the opportunity to move back up ahead and get those picks from behind, you can just keep that tower going. And we saw that tower going all the way up to a score of 12. So that is a pretty strong lead at this point in the game. But, with the amount of space that Captain Happy Crew is starting to take up now in terms of getting that rain out, getting that paint in the middle of the map, this is going to hopefully help them to regain control. But there's that blaster taking down Captain Happy, and it does look like they're already starting to set up back on their plat once again, with Wug here throwing bombs up onto the bats, holding players out from being able to defend if they can. But it does look like Captain Happy Crew is going to be going to have something to say about that, Amy.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing of Captain Happy Crew, like their players are quite grouped together in terms of positioning. Like at one stage, I saw all 3 kind of taking the same kind of area on their plat. I guess from the pressure of tower moving forward and wanting to get back into mid, but trying to create. You want a 2v1, but you don't want to be taking 2v1s from the same angle, because you're probably just going to end up in a double death scenario, or not actually landing the shot because you're shooting from the same direction. Trying to take an off angle, like right there where they just pinched together. One was in front, one was behind, absolutely golden. And we see that the machine setting up underneath their bats, lobbing shots, making sure that that area is dangerous for them to attack from. And this is Captain Happy's push happening now and here. The rain coming out to apply some more pressure. Getting through that check is important here. Party bots. Oh no!
No,
Party
they go
bots
down right
too,
as
but
they're trying to take the tower. This was a good moment for them to be able to take the tower as well. So that was like a really good pick from Party Boat as well to be able to get them, as like 2 players had gone down at that moment. It does look like Captain Happy Crew still managing to get control of the tower. Once again, 2 players have gone down on the side of Captain Happy Crew, but with the ink back coming out in a desperate attempt. Absolutely, they are, and with 2 players down, Captain Happy Crew once again has just a slight numbers advantage. They just need to be able to keep their presence up here if they want to continue pushing this forwards, but it's going to be a difficult ride for them, especially as 3 players have gone down there at the moment, and giving Party Boat the chance to move back in.
You know, the Nautilus is set back up on their plat. You know, we saw the machine looked like they kind of just tried to go for a right flank there. You know, we see the Nautilus rotating around as well, trying to take some off angles, trying to get some picks here. They've only got 10 seconds here. They need to get back into mid and get some specials charging. You know, they had ample time to try and charge the specials. They need to get through. We're seeing that Zook come through, but someone needs to take the tower, or that's game.
That's game indeed. It does look like at the end no one was really near the tower to be able to take it into overtime. But, you know, I think that with the amount of paint we see from Party Boat, we do see them like know that, okay, we are in a safe position here. If Captain Happy Crew tries to contest us, we can just move in and take them out pretty quickly. As you were saying, actually, you know, with players kind of like bunched up together like Captain Happy Crew were, that can be like pretty dangerous, especially if you have all those bombs from Party Boat, which can definitely like have to move them away apart and like perhaps like make it pretty difficult for them to be able to, I don't know, go exactly where they want to be going. But you know, I think that they made like a really good push towards the end of the game, making sure that they could actually control their plat there. But I don't think with the amount of players constantly kind of like going down towards the end, it was just kind of just a little bit too difficult, especially here when they unfortunately went down on the ramp right there.
Yeah, that
was
sneaky bomb there, you know, that's the power of the slick there. You don't have that paint to move through, so you're a little bit slower and you're a little bit more vulnerable to bombs. Again, the power of the junior, what can I say? And unfortunately, that's the end of the ride for Captain Happy Crew, getting knocked out, and we will be seeing Party Boat progress through to the final losers round against oh, the name's just lost my brain. Against, why am I thinking Rigid? It's not Rigid, but it's like a similar sounding. Rabid. There we go. Against Rabid, and you know, will Rabid be rematching Muscle Up, or will we be seeing Party Boat continuing their party into the finals? Sorry, couldn't help myself.
No, that was great. Yeah. So Party Boat, oh man, are we gonna see them continue their party? I love that. But you know, up against what Rabid has been able to do in the previous sets that they've been playing in, this is going to be one heck of like a ride. I don't know if I want to be on this particular boat. These are going to be some rough waters that you're going to be sailing through. So I don't know, I might be feeling a little bit seasick after this one, but I'm excited to see
what was that? You managed to fit in 4 sea puns, 4 boat puns in a single sentence. I am blown away by that storm you just cooked up on those rough oceans there, Lily. I'm trying my best to match it, but I just don't have the captaincy to. I'm really trying.
You got this. You know, I just have to, you know, kind of like
you have to fare those waters, you know,
rapidly think up these puns on the spot sometimes. But you know, that I don't know. I don't think that one was that good. But you know, we are gonna see. You know, I'm curious to see how Rabid is going to be playing against Party Boat here, because I know that they were kind of struggling. In the previous game, we saw them play on Mako Mart in terms of being able to push back in, but like with Party Boat, once again, we saw them being able to take a lot of paint control, which is the thing that Rabid was like kind of struggling against in the previous games we saw them play. So I'm kind of nervous a little bit now.
Interesting thing is, Rabid has like Jets and Zookers,
Yeah.
and we've been seeing Party Boat run the double bubble, which is, you know, even though, you know, the Zooks and the Jets can take out those bubbles, it does give a couple seconds of, you know, space to potentially rotate out of the way or provide almost a distraction from maybe other teammates going down to that Ink Jet.
Yeah, that's the thing though, like those bubbles can be shredded very quickly. And I think that like with Rabid, having seen them kind of struggle a little bit against like teams with those really massive paint outputs, it's gonna be interesting to see them play against Party Boat, because like as you were saying, the double bubble comp, this is gonna be a different deal for them. You're absolutely right here. So,
and we've had our band maps come through, and we will be going on to Tower Control Mako. We're seeing Mako come back, Clan Blitz Museum, and Zones Barnacle. Barnacle returning there. It's, you know, I honestly, Clan's Museum, it just, it can be over so quickly. Like, if you can just sustain a push on their platform forever, it can really
it can
be a quick
if you
game.
set up everything right, if you set up your bubbles right, your double bubbles if you can, you know.
True, like I love playing junior and museum clams because if you can get that bubble set up, even if you die setting up that bubble, if your team has that coverage to just lob in some more shots, then we've had a change. Looks
like the order of the maps and
we're no longer playing Mako Tower Control. We've changed back into Haggle Tower Control, so returning maps for Zones Barnacle and Tower Control Haggle.
Okay, and we did see Rabid actually play Tower Control Haggle and do really well. Like early on in the game, we had like a very even. We saw a very even match that Rabid was playing on. So Haggle Tower Control, yeah. So being able to see maybe they might switch up their strategy just a little bit here on defense, because that's where they were kind of like struggling to get back in, especially. But we are going to be going into this museum clam games. I love museum clams. There are so many ways you can like move up and like get those clams in. There's so many ways you can kind of like traverse this map, which is really fun. But the thing is, like, mid is so open. That's the biggest problem.
We're seeing the Decker Rapid come out from Rabid, which we didn't see in previous matches. So interesting switch up there. Still with the Ink Jets, you know, Zook strikes and the Cooler, very strong. But and Rabid's already gone for the dive on the bomb there. I
believe like at the very opening of the game, we saw Adapt already like push up all the way to the ramp over on the side of Party Boat's plat there, just to make sure that that pressure was there for Rabid to be able to play off of to get that first push in. It was a very small push, but you know, it was that first push of the game. It's the one thing where if you can get your team's presence there, then of course that's a good thing. You want to play off of that. But it does look like, having been pushed back already, Party Boat has come in with all their specials.
Capitalized that, and they've got 3 specials behind them in order to kind of take this push. They've got 16 clans. All it is lining up the ducks, and getting through those tri-strikes to try and push them back into mid. But you know, like we were talking before, Party Boat just has this amazing output.
Yeah, they're just sailing through the map at the moment. And I do believe, however, they are going to be pushed back a little bit by Rabid, but I don't know if they're even that much phased by that, as already we are seeing actually them still trying to look around, getting that fantastic pick. Oh, right, another double right there, as they were trying to create that push there. It does look like Party Boat hasn't quite got their first push in the game just yet, but seeing them play defense has been absolutely impressive. It does look like they are going to be attempting to make something happen soon, though, as we have all their specials online, except for one.
It's who's gonna be making the first move here. You know, I think Rabid does have an advantage having, you know, Tacticooler on their side. It's gonna you know, apply a lot of pressure to Party Boat, because you know they go down if they have Tacticooler online, they instantly back up. Oh, but we are trying to. The Blaster was trying to look for a sneaky push there, unable to find the clams that they were looking for to get a bull. But they are really holding that plat well. You know, Rabbit's unable to kind of push forward there and work together. The bubble creating some pressure there. They gotta organize their clans together. Tetra's going in. Oh no! But it looks like they got wiped out there. You know, went down there the blaster. But again, the double bubbles. We're seeing this chain of bubbles along with the Wavebreaker.
And there's their first push, nearly 2 minutes, getting the lead already on Rabid. Party Boat sailing through there, but it does look like Rabid has got something to say about that, as they are going to attempt to push back on them from being able to get that lead going for too much longer. It isn't particularly the best situation for Rabid at the moment, but with all those specials coming out, this does look like exactly what they want to be working towards, to be able to make these seas too rough for Party Boat to continue their party. But with 2 players going down on the side of Rabid, this is going to be that push or that attempted push coming to an end here. We are seeing like players drop left, right, and center from both Rabid and Party Boat here. Rabid going 3 down already. Does look like they are going to have to playing a little bit safely, but Adapt fearlessly trying to pressure that plant, unfortunately going down as well.
Wavebreaker kill always stings a little bit when it comes. And you know, Party Boat's quickly establishing here that frontline E leader going for it while the blaster sets up their bubble. You know, they've got 2 power clams going instantly in. And I think this is what we're seeing from Party Boat. Their pushes are like very... Yes, they're short, but they've got a lot of pack to punch with it, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Using the bubbles, you know, applying pressure. I think even though Rabid was able to get a quick push off at the start, they didn't really have much to go off because it was so quick and it happened so fast. Unfortunately, you know, Power Clam toss missed by Rabid there, but they still got one more in the backbone. They've got the cooler up. They're just looking for picks, and we're seeing...
It looks like we might be able to see these clams going in these last few seconds if they can get their team ready with these 6 clams, with all these clams they actually have online, and these amazing 3 picks. It does look like they are going to be taking this down to the 30s, perhaps even getting the lead at the very end, going into overtime right now. It doesn't look like that overtime is going to be lasting for very long. Rabid crashing Party Boat's party, sinking them into the water here.
Are we playing Battleship? Because that ship just got sunk. Wait, yeah, that ship just got sunk.
That ship just got sunk. Unfortunate, like last few seconds for Party Boat, but it does look like they still have a couple of maps to say something about that, to make some kind of win happen against Rabid, because they had quite a strong presence and quite a good lead. And as you were talking about their pushes as well, I felt that they were like very methodical. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when they had exactly the spot they wanted to be in, they made sure everyone was right in the exact position, like having that blaster set up on that block, with the bubble ready, just to make sure that you can go around behind. They did that on in the previous set in Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy as well. They used that little
knew the advantages and getting that chip damage, maybe providing a little bit of distraction as well. In combo there, and having the Tetras push forward off that block where the blaster was, kind of I want to say elongating that kind of distraction technique while the other 2 players came from up the ramp. I do want to say it's quite interesting, like the fact, what am I trying to say here? I've just completely lost my train of thought going into that conversation. I'm lost. You take it over.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay, you know what? I think that when Rabid managed, we saw in this replay here, Rabid managed to get a wipeout on Party Boat, and then off the back of that, managed to keep Party Boat's numbers down. And I think when they had that final opportunity to not just get that advantage, get that push going, as they tried very early on in the game to get that first power clam in and tried to get a few more clams in, but already pushed out very quickly by Party Boat, who very quickly punished that almost over eager push from Rabid. Partyboat was able to create like quite a strong presence throughout that game, but Rabid being able to use their very quick movement to be able to set up a push and actually keep it going at the very end was, I think, what helped them win that particular game. But we are going into Splat Zones of Barnacle and Dime right now, so we might see some, I wonder if we're seeing some similar things happening here on both of these teams who have been playing like a fair bit differently as well. I'm curious to see how Partyboat is going to be adapting to Rabid's style of very quick pushes. Does look like Rabid already gets the first cap in the game, as they got the first push in the previous game. One player going down on Partyboat, and they are already pushing up quite far ahead, taking control of that high ground there before they move just a little bit forward, just making sure that these like positions they're taking are at least a little bit methodical. They are forcing Partyboat to jump back.
Yeah, that unfortunately, I don't think meant to drop into their court there, and was able to successfully make that jump out and recover from that, because once you die, you're losing a percentage of your special, which is so important in retaking. It's interesting to note that Rabid actually switched out to a new sploosh, so they're quite, other than the squeezer, it's quite short range from Rabid's side, but they're doing a great job. But we're seeing Partyboat, move in. They got to work together here to take out those players. It's just the Blaster kind of maintaining that squishy and snipe area with the E-leader following up now. But we do see Rabid taking it. And I also want to note, I think when you're playing best of 3, I feel like winning the first game just sets such a tone to your morale as well.
Oh yeah, it does absolutely. I think that's kind of what we're seeing from Rabid. They did win the first one, but I also think that with the amount of control that Partyboat was able to take throughout that first game, I think what they're seeing is that what we're seeing from them is like, okay, we gotta take this game seriously. We gotta make sure we have the paint output and we have the constant advantage over the map in terms of where we can move to, in order to be able to really stop Partyboat from being able to take up too much of a presence like they did in that first game, which is, I think, it could be one of the reasons why they're running the Neo Splash here.
Adapting.
They're adapting. It could be one of the reasons.
But Partyboat is taking up the space and moving up as we go forward here. They've kind of established themselves now, and it's up to Rabid to fight back, get their specials together. We see the Zoop coming out here, looking for a pick. Whoa, taking out the Blaster. That's one down, only 3 more to go. We see the Reslider. Whoa, taking out 2. Can it get 3? No, unfortunately not. But with just kind of the Neo Splash holding here, other team members jumping in. They've taken the lead now. Partyboat's turned it around. Even though a small lead, it is still a lead with 2 minutes left on the board here. It is getting sweaty. It is getting hot. It is Squid Junction number 51.
It is Squid Junction number 51. I think that they are. I think what we're seeing from Rabid at the moment is they're keeping up this strong pressure, being able to take this lead back from Partyboat as well. It does look like Partyboat is gonna be kind of feeling a little bit desperate in terms of trying to move back in. We can see those tri-strikes almost push them out, but they managed to actually survive there. But they are rushing in at the very last moment, unfortunately not being able to take the zone back just in time with those tri-strikes just holding them back, stopping those avenues to move back in.
We're gonna see a rematch between Rabid and Muscle Up. Will Rabid come back with a bite, or will Muscle Up hold their pearls? Do mussels have pearls? No, that's oysters. Mussels.
Oysters. Flex their muscles.
No, mussels have oysters.
Maybe.
Mussels have pearls. Do they? Or do they not? No, they don't. Mussels are completely different. No, they're completely different.
Mussels. Can we get
a fact check, please?
I believe. Is muscle up a pun on muscles, as in the muscles in your body, flexing muscles? Okay, let's have a look at these replays.
God,
actually,
we're seeing how. I think you're right.
We're seeing how these replays.
Sorry.
I just want to take a look at these replays actually, because we did see a few really good cases of where Party Boat was actually able to move in with their specials. Unfortunately, even though they had like quite a really strong paint output, I don't know if necessarily their specials were just enough to be able to move back in from, because they're not necessarily running like quite a lot of painting specials either, which is what Rabid decided, I think, to run with the Tri-Strikes.
Yeah, if you look at the difference in comp,
yeah,
you know, Rabid has all of their specials they're running are completely, you know, able to disperse the team, able to apply pressure, whereas, you know, Party Boat, while the double bubble, you know, can provide some protection from that, it doesn't really give them anything to disperse Rabid, and that's the difference we're seeing in comp here. And I think,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, so that difference in comp, it was not just like the paint output coming from Rabid actually in that one, but also I think like Party Boat having the double bubbles are really good if you're setting up like a strong push, especially with those distractions with the bubble, like we saw really strong methodical pushes, not only in that Clan Blitz game, but also in like previous that we saw Party Boat being able to set up their bubble on that step, and you know we saw that happening there.
I think
Rabid just being able to,
I think if they had been able to have those bubbles where they had taken space and control and cap zone and were moving into the like a more forward position, if they had the bubbles there to kind of give some protection, because, you know, Rabid just answered with the Zooks and they had nothing to protect them from that or answer. So it kind of just forced them back onto the zone, and then they'd die on zone, and it was an easy cap for Rabid to take over again. So with that, it looks like, you know, Rabid's moving in, and we'll be moving on to the grand finals, the rematch of Muscle Up versus Rabid. And so with that, we'll take a break and see you very soon for the grand finals.